Hedy.
How are you?
I'm okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good today. What about you? How's it going?
I'm very tired. I'm currently in Hong Kong, which is very exciting. But I'm exhausted because it's so humid here. I was not expecting it to be as humid as it is. I thought it'd be a bit more, springtime, but cooler. And I have been very busy just filming, taking lots of pictures for Instagram, and not being able to access TikTok, which is driving me crazy.
Oh no. So that's definitely not something you anticipated, I guess, when you went over there.
Yeah, it was fine. So I changed to a Hong Kong travel SIM card, and suddenly TikTok won't load for me. And I am devastated because I used to use TikTok a lot just to find places to go when I'm traveling. So because it's short, easy to consume content. So I used to use it a lot for finding restaurants and stuff. And now I can't. I have to use YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels.
I'm sorry, Hedy, but maybe Hong Kong thinks you have a problem. Hong Kong is cut you off.
Hong Kong knows I'm addicted. They're like, no, I'm sorry. This is your cleanse. This is your TikTok cleanse.
But how
what about you, Charlotte?
Because humidity and Instagram stories, it's hard to keep the hair looking.
Oh, yeah. I've been struggling with that, but luckily I've been using dry shampoo, and I've been wearing my hair up a lot. Yeah. And just it's a lot of food pictures, I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
But
all right.
Anyway, Charlotte, how about you? Is it humid where you are?
I'm not in Hong Kong, sadly. I've been great though. At the weekend I went and did some of the South Downs Way, which in the UK we have a lot of long distance walking paths, so that's one that's kind of, I guess, southwest of London for our listeners. So you kind of know the location. It's 100 kilometers all in, but I just did the first couple of days. And I walked one day, and the other day me and my sister ran it, which is the longest run I've ever done. So I'm a bit shattered now, but it was quite a nice weekend.
You are so healthy. I've just been eating my entire weight in Hong Kong street food and just sleeping, and wow, that's amazing. But so what do you do when you go hiking? Do you take a lot of pictures? Because that's all I would do. I would just go hiking for the Instagram content.
I do. Well, no, you know what? I don't take photos anymore. And the reason is because I don't use social media much anymore. So I don't take the photos anymore, which is really telling, because it means that I was only ever taking photos to basically put them up on Instagram, pics, or it didn't happen. And apart from that, I didn't care or didn't look at them. So I do think it's funny because it's such a big thing, is using social media to show people that we're living a fun, interesting life. And we all do it,
fake.
right? And
yes,
the closest I have now is I use Strava, which is running or walking tracking app, but it's kind of like social media because people can go and see the runs or cycles you've done and the photos you've attached, and they can like those. So I get little likes from people there, but I'm only followed by my friend, my family, my immediate family. So it's pretty low key.
That sounds like such a healthy, wholesome app, which is probably why I've never heard of it. But no, I am terrible for that. For me, when I go out with my friends, especially for a meal, I always say the camera eats first. The camera eats first. So I'm always taking pictures. I am that person, and it's a problem. But yeah, I think
I had Instagram when I was young, and so many of my photos were of food. And I'd have that horrible moment, where you're really hungry and then the food comes and you just start eating it. And then you're like, no, I missed my Instagram opportunity.
Oh, see, I feel my stomach has become trained. It's until I've taken my photos then I'm ready. But
yeah,
you just need to condition yourself, Charlotte.
Yeah, and I guess it just wasn't enough of a priority. Or I just really listened in high school when we were told to watch our digital footprint.
Yeah, so you have to like really curate your online persona. But I think that was like, because I used to be so scared in school when they used to tell us like, oh, you need to be careful, everything you post online, you know, when you apply for jobs, they're going to see everything. They're going to see your embarrassing 13-year-old pictures.
Yeah.
And I used to be worried, but now I think, okay, but everyone has embarrassing pictures, to the point where it's like, there are so many like embarrassing things online that like nothing stands out anymore, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's almost like par for the course. Like, if someone, like it used to be, if you apply for a job, they could look you up on Facebook and see pictures of your drunken night out, and therefore decide that you're not a good employee to have. And then it was like, everyone needs to make their Facebook profile private, you know. And it was just, but these are things that we should have known to do anyway, like make our profile private unless someone is like a friend, and then you approve access. But sort of, it was the early days of social media. No one knew what they were doing. Do you remember when you first got on Facebook?
Oh my God. So I think I made Facebook when I started secondary school, so when I was like maybe 11, but then I deleted it when I was like 13. And then I got onto like Twitter and Instagram. And yeah, I'm just thinking, so for me, like Facebook, because I deleted it, it wasn't really that big. Like Snapchat was really big when I was in school, like Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter. But yeah, Facebook, it just felt like kind of like the old, sorry to say this, but it felt like old people social media, you know what I mean?
Compared to you, I am an old person, so that's legit. But Facebook was the one I deleted first. Facebook started to feel obsolete much more quickly. I think I deleted Facebook when I was about like 21, and then I used Instagram for a lot longer, but I deleted that when I was about 25, because at that point I started to feel like I wasn't enjoying using social media anymore. Like, it started to make me feel worse when I used it, rather than like feeling inspired or feeling like excited to see what other people were doing. It was that kind of comparison effect. I felt like I was always trying to like make my life seem like really cool, and feeling sad or feeling like FOMO if I saw what other people were posting, and I'd had like a really boring weekend compared to them. So that kind of that was like the impetus, and then I got off it. What made you delete? Well, did you deleted Facebook? Did you delete anything else?
No, I've never like. I think just Snapchat. I didn't delete it. I just stopped using it, so I don't even remember like my login anymore. But I feel like Snapchat, especially like I think as you approach like your mid-20s, it's like if someone asks me for my Snapchat, it's like, dude, how old are you, kind of thing. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like we're not 17. But then I had to make Facebook again when I started uni, because a lot of like society stuff is on Facebook. And I remember like one of the girls on the cheer team, she's like, oh, that's so funny, like nowadays there are so many people, like young people coming to uni, and they don't have like Facebook, which is quite interesting. So it used to be the social media app like back in the day.
Yeah, it was, and Facebook don't care because they bought Instagram, and Instagram.
They bought everything else, so
they've still cornered the market. But yeah, I had the same experience. I had to like rejoin Facebook for my masters, because they made a Facebook group, and that was like the only way to communicate with my master's program, which I have so many problems with, but I'm not going to go on a rant here. And I also use it for the marketplace, because that's where people in the UK, a lot of people buy and sell used stuff on the Facebook marketplace, and it's really good. I have browsed Facebook marketplace a few times and bought things,
but no, I've never bought anything actually, because I mainly use like Depop and Vinted. Those like Vinted is like my go-to
for clothes, but wait till you're looking for secondhand used furniture.
But I was looking for furniture, but then someone on my street was getting rid of some furniture which I needed, so that it worked out even better. But one thing I think is quite interesting, like the way social media, even from like 10 years ago, it's like changed, because nowadays, like, I think people don't worry so much about their digital footprint, because, you know, with like this whole influencer culture, it's like everyone is trying to like put their best self out there, if that makes sense. So maybe that's why. And I think people just don't care anymore, like, especially like the younger Gen Z, as they just like, they'll post anything. They'll post like things that I wouldn't even like tell my diary. So
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? I definitely think that like growing up with it, like, we're a bit more leery of it, and like maybe leery of like how it could come back to haunt us later. You've probably, have you done a cleanup, like where you've gone back and deleted things that you posted when you were younger?
I think I didn't really post. I'm trying to think, because any accounts, like I'm trying to think like One Direction fan accounts and stuff, like I just delete. Oh, actually, no, I did delete accounts. Yeah, like fan accounts, I just deleted. And so,
because you're like, I don't want people to find this like later, and that you haven't done anything wrong, but it's just weird. It's like someone going through your diary. Like,
that's the thing. I think it's, so that's why like even at the moment, like my Instagram, I don't have it on private or anything, but it's because like the things I post on there, it's like I don't mind people seeing, like it's not a personal thing. It's just like I just like posting like aesthetic kind of pictures. Yeah. So, but then that's quite interesting. So what do you think about being on, like, so obviously for Britcent we have to be online. Like, what do you think about it?
I'm hella online when it comes to Britcent, and I'm absolutely not online in my personal life. So that's how I square it. Because for me, like, it's work, and it's fun, and I am being myself, like I'm being my authentic self when I am podcasting, or like if I'm presenting in a video, I'm trying to like show my personality and stuff through it. But it's curated, right? It's like, this is the version of me that is like, I'm happy to present in a professional way. And it's like, and the rest of me I get to keep, you know? And I can switch off, and I'm not in that world anymore. What about you?
Yeah, I think it's interesting, because I feel like I'm not really as online with Britcent as you are, Charlotte. So I think I'm already in like a few things. So I think it's kind of different for me, because it's more like I feel like I'm more active in my personal life online than I am with work online, if that makes sense. Yeah, but I think that's like maybe age difference as well, kind of thing. So I think a lot of people, because especially now, like influencers and stuff, people like they like try to brand themselves, if that makes sense. Yeah. But and I think as well, there's like the danger of kind of, you know, these like parasocial relationships being created. You know, like people think they know you because you're like an online figure, and like, but then it's like, no, you only see what like you're showing online. So is that something you ever worry about?
Oh yeah, like I definitely feel strange about it, because like I'm really happy if people watch it and they feel like they know me, and then if they do take a class, we get to meet each other. That's awesome, right? And I'm like really happy that that's what's brought them to class. But at the same time, I feel like I could disappoint them, because they'll like have this really they'll have built up this like idea of what I'm like, and then they'll meet me and I'll just like not live up to it. So it's very strange. And I just try not to think about it too much, to be honest. But you could have the same experience, really, because like from your vlogs and podcasts, like you might get the same thing happen.
Maybe, but I think it's because I'm still like very barely on here, so just like through podcasts, so I'm not quite at that level yet. I'm not on your level yet, Charlotte, but well, I mean, at the end of the day, you can always just turn off your computer and then just ignore everything. Just turn off.
Yeah, absolutely. And like we work online like all day, so like at the end of the day, all I want to do is switch off. I don't want to be online anymore. It's just become like more like work for me these days. But it's like it was a huge part of navigating social media and all that stuff, and posting things online, and having a lot of our relationships, like interactions, take place online. It's just like really something that shaped our age group a lot, I think.
Yeah. I mean, after you saying all that about switching off, I'm literally about to go through all the pictures I've taken today and like add them to my Instagram story. So I'm sorry, I'm shameless. But what are you planning to do later, Charlotte?
I'm gonna go on a walk, Hetty.
Oh, you're really switching off. So
yeah, I will have had enough screen time today for sure. I've got a lot of classes, but I'm sure I'll still be like on WhatsApp messaging people. I'll still like maybe have a browse through Reddit or Twitter to catch some news. You can't really avoid it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it was super fun to chat to you again, Hetty. Let's do it again sometime.
Yeah. See you soon, Charlotte. Bye.